For the entrepreneur interview, I interviewed Tom McCaughey. He is the owner of Flagship Trailways in Cranston, Rhode Island. Flagship Trailways is a tour and charter bus company that's really been built up over the past 10 years since Tom purchased it in 2001. Tom himself went to Providence College for 2 years, but then took a semester off and never made it back to finish his degree. He started working for a big corporation, Texas Instruments, working basically the third shift, and then was able to move up within the company very rapidly and in a very short amount of time. He then unfortunately got laid off as they moved out of state. He also then moved on to another big company where he worked for a short period of time before they also moved out of Rhode Island. It was at that point in time he realized he wanted to work for himself. He and his two brothers started a garbage business which went for 25 years up until they were bought out by a major corporation. 2 years after that, he decided he wanted to do something he loved. Ever since he was little, he enjoyed traveling and buses, so what better to do than to buy a bus company? He bought a dying fleet of 3 old buses at a tiny little company out of Warwick that basically ran trips down to New Jersey. Tom saw that in Rhode Island there were no good tour and charter bus companies. He saw there was a lot of room for improvement in the industry and thought he could do well. He purchased Flagship Trailways in 2001. Before that, it wasn't even Trailways, it was just Flagship Bus Lines. He joined Trailways, which is a major corporation which affiliates all bus lines across the country, but only the best of the best can get into this. He did that in 2006, only owning the company for 5 years. Flagship then has moved on to become a much bigger company, up from a fleet of 3 buses now to 20 buses. He's done things such as the Vancouver Olympics and other major events that Trailways Corporation has been able to get him connections with. Tom is big on promoting a family atmosphere in his business. The garbage business, he worked with his 2 brothers for all 25 years. They had various job titles within the company, but all worked together to really do well with the company. They also promoted to the employees that it was like one big family. Tom has carried that value into Flagship Trailways as well. There, not only his office staff, but with his drivers and mechanics, he really tries to make it feel like it is one big family. He thinks that it's very important to make employees feel valued at the company, and hopefully it'll make them want to come to work and feel better about work. When I spoke with him, there were a lot of takeaways that I could get from someone who's done so much in his life. The first one was that there's no substitute for hard work. He says that putting in a lot of time and a lot of effort is really the key to success. You have to be able to budget your time as well though. You can't spend it doing, useless things. You have to be able to budget the time well and really work hard to be successful. The second big takeaway that I had from him was that you have to have the right attitude towards work. He said that for all the days that he's worked in his life, he's never walked into work one day saying, "I hate this job." He's always done something that he felt passionate about and really enjoyed doing. He said a lot of people have a negative mindset towards work and it's just something you have to do 9 to 5. He said it shouldn't matter how many hours you have to do it, it should be something that you enjoy doing. The final takeaway that I got from interviewing him was that you can always stay entrepreneurial even after owning a business for such a long time. In his garbage business, he did become one of the top managers, obviously since he was the owner, but he still felt that he was able to create new ideas and new ways of getting things done, even owning the company for 25 years. Also with the bus business, he's felt that for the past 10 years he hasn't become more managerial, he's still stayed entrepreneurial. He's looked into new opportunities and new businesses to jump into, and has really worked hard to push the company along with that. Tom, is a very hard worker. He really likes what he's done, and I felt that I was able to learn a lot from him. I worked for him this past summer, and I hope to continue to stay in contact with him as he has many lessons that are valuable to teach.